never believed in sleep. Paralysis until it learned my name. The first time it happened, I thought I was dying. I woke up in my bed, staring at the ceiling, unable to move a single muscle. My arms were heavy, my legs felt buried in concrete, and my mouth wouldn't open no matter how hard I tried. I could breathe, but every breath felt borrowed, shallow, like something was allowing me just enough air to stay conscious. I tried to scream, nothing came out. That's when I noticed the room felt wrong. My bedroom looked exactly the same, but the darkness was thicker, heavier, like it had weight. The corners of the room seemed deeper than they should have been, stretching farther back than the walls allowed. My door was closed, but the gap beneath it was completely black. No light from the hallway, no shadow, just black. Then I felt it. Pressure on my chest. Not sudden, not crushing, just firm enough to remind me I wasn't alone. I told myself what everyone says, this is sleep paralysis, hallucinations. Your brain dreaming while your body is awake. That explanation helped for about 3 seconds until I felt fingers. They weren't gripping me, they were resting on my chest, long and cold, as if whoever owned them was simply waiting. I tried to move my eyes, and that's when I saw the shape at the foot of my bed. At first it looked like a shadow standing upright, but shadows don't breathe. This thing did slowly, deliberately. Its outline shifted slightly with every breath, like it was adjusting itself to my room. Its head tilted, just a little, as if it were studying me. I shut my eyes as hard as I could. When I opened them again, it was closer, right beside my bed. That was the first night. I didn't sleep at all after that. I sat in my room until morning. Lights on, heart racing, replaying everything in my head. When the sun came up, the fear felt stupid. Embarrassing sleep paralysis is common. People see shadow figures all the time. It doesn't mean anything. I believed that, until it happened again. The second episode came 3 nights later. Same paralysis, same pressure, but this time the thing wasn't at the foot of my bed. It was lying next to me. I could feel the mattress dip under its weight. I could feel the heat, or lack of it, coming off its body. It was colder than the room, like it had brought its own temperature with it. Its face hovered inches from mine, though I couldn't see features, just darkness where a face should be. Then it whispered. Not words, just breathe at first, slow, careful, like it was learning how to use lungs. I tried to force myself awake. I tried to scream. I tried to die if that's what it took to make it stop. Then the whisper became clearer. It sounded like me. Same voice, same tone, same breathing pattern. It was repeating my thoughts out loud. Every panicked sentence running through my head came back to me in a soft murmur, as if someone else was reading my mind and rehearsing it. When I thought, please wake up, it whispered, please wake up. When I thought, don't touch me, it whispered, don't touch me. That's when I realized something much worse than fear. It wasn't just watching. It was learning. After that, the episodes started happening every night. Sometimes twice a night. I stopped sleeping in my bed. I slept on the couch, then the floor, then with the lights on. It didn't matter. Wherever I slept, it followed. Each time it stayed longer. The pressure on my chest grew heavier. The fingers started moving, exploring, tracing my ribs, counting them. The whispering turned into sentences, questions, observations. It began commenting on my breathing, my heartbeat, the way fear made my muscles twitch even though I couldn't move. One night it asked me something directly. Do you know how long you've been asleep? I didn't answer, I couldn't. It chuckled, not a laugh, more like an imitation of one. You never wake up all the way, it said, you just stop noticing. That was when the rules changed. I started seeing it while I was awake. Not fully, not clearly, just reflections, dark shapes where they shouldn't be, movement in mirrors that didn't match mine. I'd blink and catch a glimpse of myself standing behind me. staring with an expression I wasn't making. I stopped trusting my own consciousness. I began recording myself sleeping, hoping to catch proof, something rational. The footage showed nothing unusual, just me lying there perfectly still. Except for one thing. Every night at exactly 3 or 8 a.m. my mouth moved. Not much, just enough to whisper. I couldn't hear the audio at first. When I boosted it, slowed it down, filtered the noise, my stomach dropped. I wasn't whispering for help. I was answering questions. I don't know when it started touching me while I was awake. At first it was small things. A hand brushing my arm when no one was there, the feeling of breath on my neck when I was alone. Then it escalated. I'd wake up with fingerprints on my chest. Not bruises. Not marks, just impressions like something had pressed into my skin long enough to leave a memory. I went to a doctor, then another, then a sleep specialist. They said stress, anxiety, severe parasomnia. They gave me medication that made my dreams thicker, heavier, harder to escape. That's when it started staying after I woke up. One night, during an episode, it leaned so close I felt its forehead touch mine. "You're almost ready," it whispered. "Ready for what?" "You're learning how to stay." That was the night I understood the truth. Sleep paralysis isn't a malfunction, it's a door. Most people touch it for a few seconds and panic their way back out. But if you linger, if you let fear freeze you long enough, something on the other side notices. It doesn't live in dreams, it lives in the space between sleeping and waking, the place where your body shuts down but your mind stays open. A place humans aren't meant to occupy for long. That's where it waits. And once it memorizes you, your voice, your thoughts, your breathing, it doesn't need you to be asleep anymore. Last night, I lay in bed fully awake, staring at the ceiling, able to move, able to breathe. I thought I was safe. And I felt the pressure on my chest. This time, I could move my arms. I looked down. My hands weren't mine. They were resting on my chest, fingers long and cold, pressing gently, patiently. And somewhere behind my eyes, something whispered my thoughts back to me. Perfectly. I haven't slept since, but it doesn't matter, because I don't think I ever fully woke up. And if you've ever felt awake but unable to move, if you've ever sensed someone watching you in the dark, if you've ever heard breathing that didn't match your own, it may already know your name. And it may already be waiting for you to fall asleep.